I literally almost took that sewing machine and chucked it out the window. Michelle here, also known as Fancy Dinosaur Tea Party, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be attempting to make the dress from the Queen's Gambit. If you're new to my channel and you like sewing, crafting, but mainly thrifting, why not subscribe? If you're a fan of Queen's Gambit like I am, you know what dress I'm talking about. It's like at the beginning of the series and she finally has enough money to buy her own things. It's that beautiful plaid dress she sees in the department store, and I have been obsessed with it ever since. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a bit, then you know that I did do a Queen's Gambit outfit inspo video where I just kind of picked stuff from my own closet to kind of match her style, aesthetic, and I do have like a plaid dress, and I came to the realization that if I altered it a little bit, it's pretty much the dress. Now, the only problem with that dress that I own, it has purple hues in it, and although the dress is really pretty, I kind of wanted something more classic, whereas I think that dress is more like 90s, especially with like that purple color mixed in with the green plaid. I don't know where they were gonna go with that, but anyways, I bought it and I still love it. I'm going to make my own. As every other millennial out there, I've gotten addicted to TikTok. Yes, I do have a TikTok if you want to follow me. It is Fancy Dinosaur Tea Party, and I post sometimes. Anywho, I was, just perusing on the app at like 1 a.m. as per usual, and I came across this one girl who had made the perfect dress, like the pinafore of my dreams, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I need this dress. And I think I commented saying it's a beautiful dress, and then she was saying that she's gonna make the pattern available on her Etsy, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't wait for it. So eventually she did make the pattern on her Etsy, and I bought it, and it was only $20, which for a pattern, that's pretty much what they go for. But what's great about patterns, you buy it once, you print it out, and like you have it to make whatever you want in the future. You just gotta buy the fabric for it. So the girl that I found on TikTok, her name is Lipski. She is a costume, wigs, and makeup designer, as well as a costume crafter and a scenic painter. I'm also going to be listing her Etsy, Instagram, and her TikTok down below, so if you really would like to also do this pattern, you can definitely find it there, because she does go over parts of the dress that I'm probably not going to go over. So if you really want to make this dress, definitely check her out, because she is the creator of the dress. I am just simply a humble person who is attempting to make it, and I don't know how well it's gonna go. I don't know if this video is gonna be more of a tutorial or of me trying to make a dress, because the only thing that I've ever made that was a garment was that quilted jacket, and if you watch that video, then you know how all over the place it was and how I just made things up as I went along. I made it and I was very proud of myself. So I'm just like, hey, if I can make that, what else can I make? And because I absolutely love Queen's Gambit, I'm like, I'm never going to be able to find her dress. Like, I'm not going to be able to find it. So I gotta make it for myself. I was really waiting for a sale to happen on Fabricland where I actually found some pretty close fabric. Now, I didn't find the green checkered plaid dress that she had, but I found something very similar. I mean, again, I'm not trying to replicate it exactly. I just love the style of it. The fabric I ended up picking up is this here. I've never bought that much fabric that they actually gave me the cardboard piece. I bought way more than I needed. Like, I always have that thing in my head where I'm just like, you might run out. What if you run out and then you go back and the fabric's gone? So, you gotta pick it up while you can. Now, this was $4 a meter. It is not a Michelle project unless I've already messed up. On her pattern, it is American measurements, and I'm Canadian, so, it's different. And she put 20 to 22 inches for a zipper, and I just saw like 20 up here. I'm like, 20, that's it. 20 centimeters, which meant I had to get another zipper. And so I did. I got this one. This one is a 55 centimeter zipper. And well, I thought that was that. And then I realized, hey, you know what? I probably should put a lining in it. Her directions do tell you to put a lining in it, but I've never actually put a lining in anything that I've ever made, because I'm like, that's an extra step, that's more money, I don't really want to do it. And I ended up just getting this plain black lining. I think it's polyester. It's very nice and lightweight. Now, this was kind of on sale, so it was $10 a meter, and then it was 30% off, and I think that's probably the best bet that I can get for a liner. And then I think I got like 4.5 meters. Probably don't need 4.5 meters, but I might need 4.5 meters. I know where I got it. There's more of it, so if I do run out, I can run out and get it. This pattern is my first pattern that I'm actually buying online. Normally, I will go to the discount section at Fabricland and pick up the stuff that's discounted, or I'll go to thrift shops and pick up patterns that are from the 70s. So another great thing about this pattern is that it is size inclusive. So when you buy the pattern, you'll get 3 documents. One will be the instructions of how to put it together, and then it'll give you 2 other documents, and one is sizes small to large, and the other one is sizes 1X to 3X. The dress size that I'm gonna pick is a large. I think I would be able to fit into the medium, but I do like to have a little extra room. I don't want to be too tight, and I'd rather make the large and realize, oh, it's a little bit big. And I have enough tailoring skills that I know where to take it in, where if it's too small, I would probably have to start from scratch, and I don't want to do that. So let's start printing out that pattern. The pattern pieces, I'm going to print them out on this kind of cardstock. It almost looks like cardboard paper. I bought it for something else and now I have a bunch of it left over. I'm gonna use this because it is very durable, and I feel like if I just used regular paper, I would probably rip it. Like, I know myself, I probably would. So I needed more space to put this together, so I came downstairs and all I did was just line up the letters. I laid it all out in the living room, and then I'm like, I just want to tape it. These are some of the pattern pieces. That's like the back. We got like a front piece. This is the skirt piece that I taped all together real well. What's great about this pattern is you have two options. You can make it above the knee or below the knee, and I chose to do like below the knee. If I wanted to do above, then like this line here is where I would cut at. Now that the pattern is all cut out and taped together, I guess it's time to start cutting out the fabric pieces. This is the tedious part, and I don't know how well I'm gonna do with it. So let's just get right into it. Now day 2, I did finish cutting up all the pattern pieces. I did cut out all of the lining as well. I didn't film it because it's the exact same process that I did for the actual, like the outer layer. I just cut the exact same pattern, exact same shapes for the lining. And I guess today I'm going to start pinning it all together and sewing it up. Okay, so this is kind of what it's looking like. It's very rough. I'm having a little issue here where this is way over. I'm gonna have to take this apart. I don't want to take it apart, but I think what I should have done is I should have started in the center and went out. So what I ended up doing was I went for a lunch break, because I was very hungry and like my hand was shaking, and I'm like, oh, it's probably because I've only had an ice cap all day. So what I ended up doing was I unstitched just one side, left the other side on because it was great, and then I pinned from the centerpiece all the way down, and I sewed that way because then that way I know they're not going to overlap, and that's what happened the first time I did it, is it overlapped. Okay, so this is actually looking quite cute now. This was definitely not the fabric to use because it is fraying like nuts. I should have just picked plain cotton. I think I'm gonna do next is I'm going to do the inside of the bodice, like the lining, and then that way I can like attach them together. Okay, I sewed the liner of the bodice now. Looks like this. Now I have to take both of these, pin them together, and then sew them together. Okay, so it's like this now. So we have the good side and we have the lining side. So what I ended up doing was I unstitched the top of like the shoulder, because when I was trying to like flip it inside out, it was not working. But I unstitched them, and then I stitched the lining together so it's like this. Also, what I ended up doing was, you can see it around this side, is that the two pieces that connect in the middle, I kind of just took it from here and I sewed just like a U kind of. Can you see the fraying? Like, this is what I'm working with. Didn't sew the bottom, by the way. Like, the bottom is still completely open, and I just left this because I know I'm going to have to attach it to the skirt. Didn't feel like sewing it up, and I don't know if that was a good idea or a bad idea. Find out shortly whenever I start doing the skirt. This is going to be here, this has to like go around. So like that has to be like sewn up there. So I think the plan now, I'm going to iron it so that way all of these here is just nice and flat, and then I'm gonna go and give it a top stitch. Also, my sewing machine needs oil and it is screaming at me, so yeah. All right, and it is a couple days later because my sewing machine was screaming at me. So I had to take it to my parents' house where my dad fixed it. He oiled it up. He made it sound good. Made it sound like it's not screaming at me anymore, which is fantastic. I'm going to finish the bodice. I'm going to get the bodice done today, and then I'm going to start working on the skirt part, which I am hoping is a lot easier. Plan is, this is one half of the pocket, the other half of the pocket is over here, but we're going to deal with this one right now. And what you have to do is you have to sew good side to good side, and only sew from where we had the little notches. You see like the little notches, you cut them out, and that just kind of tells you where to sew. So right now we're gonna sew the pocket because it's just the half. So when it's done, a nice kind of finish, and then we're gonna sew it on the other side, and then when that's done, we sew the things together. So let's figure this out now. Now that the pockets are sewn onto the skirt, I can now focus on sewing the skirt sides together. I'm just moving the pockets out of the way so that way when I sew down, the pockets don't get attached to anything. So that's why I'm just moving those over there, and then I don't sew there. And I'm gonna sew up here, and then I'm gonna sew all of that. Now that the side of the dress is sewn together, I'm pinning together the pockets and then sewing those up. Now that I finished the outside of the dress, I'm moving on to the lining of the dress, and I'm just pinning them together and running them through the sewing machine. So the lining is now all sewn up. So this is the good side, this is the front, and then I'm gonna grab this guy, is gonna go around here. So what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is I think I'm just going to stitch this right onto here, sew it, and then attach this onto it and then sew it all together. I feel if I do it this way, this will be nice and together and I won't have to worry about it separating. It is now the next day. This project is slowly killing me. I want to get it done today. I know I said I wanted to get it done yesterday, but I want to get it done today. So I really have to hustle. This journey has been quite a journey. Here's the problem, okay? Again, this is not a tutorial. This is literally the first time I'm ever making a dress using a pattern. I've like used a pattern before, but again, it was something very small. It was not like a dress caliber kind of project. Where I made my flaw, my one big wrong-o. Where I went wrong was this part. It's like a sunscreen right there, yeah. Problem is that I cut 3 pieces, all the same size. And she even wrote it in her description what you're supposed to do, and like, I don't know. I just got really excited about the project and I just started doing things. You're supposed to have like one on this side, one on this side. The middle piece is actually supposed to be double the length. And I didn't know, all I saw was here, fold for the front. I didn't know what fold for the front meant. Like, here's the thing, I've never really read a pattern, so I don't really know what the things on a pattern means. So it was kind of throwing me through a loop. And what I was supposed to do, I was supposed to fold over the fabric, and like this was supposed to be the center, and it was supposed to be like double, and I didn't. I just cut out once, so when I tried to put it on, I'm like, why is it so small? I don't understand why things aren't lining up. That was it. So I came to that big realization last night, and instead of turning on the camera, because sometimes filming is just way too chaotic for me, I just did did it. I just did it. Everything that you just saw me do, add the pockets and stuff, I had to take all of that apart. When I mean all of it, I mean I had to take the whole skirt apart and redo it. And then I took it a step further and I attached it to the bodice. This is what it is looking like right now. I attached it to the bodice. All I have to do now today is I am attaching the liner, attaching it together, and adding the zipper. It's me who has the problem. The pattern is very easy to follow. It's me. I'm the problem. Let's finish this dress.
As you can see here, I'm attaching the top of the liner to the bottom of the waistband.
I took this downstairs and I pinned on the edges and then I sewed it so the two good sides are facing each other, sewed it up, then I just cut anything extra because I always added more fabric than I should have. Shouldn't have done that, whatever, it's fine. So now I'm gonna flip it right side out, I'm gonna iron it down, pin it, and then do a top stitch. All right, so I finished hemming the bottom with the top stitch, and now I just have to do the zipper. So I ended up getting the invisible zipper. So on this side where the little zipper pull is, you don't really see the zipper, and then on the back, you see the zipper. I'm going to install this, and then I'm going to attach the two back pieces together, and then I'm gonna call it a day. So let's start with this zipper. Sometimes I'm really good, and sometimes I'm not. I also don't have a zipper foot.
The zipper is now sewn into the dress. I definitely need a zipper foot to have a little bit cleaner edges, and I am gonna go back over this again once I have a zipper foot.
And I'm done. The dress is done. Did I cut corners to get this dress done? You betcha. But you know what? It's done. And there's pockets. I just gotta find them. There, okay, I have pockets. I've never put pockets in something before, so first time for pockets. This is the back. Right here, as you can see, is a little wonky. It's a little wonky. That's okay. This part here is a little loose. So, you know, I end up doing the large pattern, and right here, I needed the large, but I think here I probably only needed a medium. So I'll probably go back eventually and just kind of maybe adjust this so it's a little bit better. The flare is nice. Again, I think I probably could have done more in the front, but I did not read instructions. It's fine. It looks fine. Like that's where the zipper goes. I probably could have done a way better job with the zipper if I had a zipper foot. I think the shoulders definitely need a little bit of tailoring. It's just a little bit big here. I probably can, like, you know, dart them in a little bit, but again, I'm just going off kind of the pattern. You know, I have to make my own adjustments once I really know how to read a pattern and know my own body type to know where I need to either add extra fabric to or take away fabric from. That's just gonna be a learning curve that I'm gonna have to like experience the more I dive into sewing my own clothes. This is probably the only dress I'm gonna sew for the next like few months, because it took me a week and it slowly killed me. I was on the verge of tears several times. I think it is really cute. I will definitely use this pattern again, knowing what I know now. I mean, this is a learning experience. This is the first time I've ever sewn a dress. I think if I bring it up like that, it will fit me so much better. Already trying it on for y'all, so I'm not going back to the sewing machine. You saw it on, and now I'm sitting down because I don't want to stand anymore. I definitely think this pattern is super, super cute, and it is really straightforward on how to make it. I would just, you know, follow the directions better, because I don't know, I just think I can do it. Follow the directions. Did go wrong from the beginning, and that was attempting to make this project. No, it was actually picking the wrong fabric, although this fabric was $4 a meter. There is a reason why it is $4 a meter. It frays like a madman, meaning it frays like crazy. Like every time I cut it, just fray. And I'm not a person who has money to buy a serger, so I can't like serge the sides and just not worry about it. Also, this is the most staticky fabric that I've probably ever worked with. Like, I don't know if you can hear that. Just every time I move it, it's just static, static, static. So I have 3 cats, and 2 of them are white cats. So this is just, again, because of the static, white cat hair has just clung on to this, and I can't get rid of it with one of those, like, you know, just the little lint rollers. It's not budging. Lining's okay. Again, it frayed, but it wasn't bad. Really do like the pattern of the dress. I do want to do it again. So if you do want to make this pattern yourself, I will be linking the Etsy shop where you can buy it below. I think this is a really great pattern. Anyone really can make this dress, I mean, as long as you read the instructions and don't get too frustrated. I think that I probably would have done a better job on this dress if I didn't have to film it and worry about camera angles, and I could just do it in my own time and not have to rush it. Do you want to like make the adjustments that I need to make? Not particularly anytime soon. I do really think it's really cute. This dress was definitely a learning experience for me, and I'm really glad I made it, even though, you know, again, I almost cried several times. I literally almost took that sewing machine and chucked it out the window. Good learning process, and I need to do that. If I want to become a better sewer, I gotta do these projects. I gotta fail. This is not a fail, but I failed many times making it, and then I learned from those mistakes and did it better. If you do have any questions about this dress, please leave it in the comments and I will do the best to help you out there, because this really wasn't a tutorial because I didn't know what I was doing. If you like the video, give it a good old-fashioned thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed but you want to subscribe, please subscribe. You can also follow me on my Instagram, which is fancydinotparty. Hopefully I'll be posting more now that it is nice out a lot more and not so gloomy and gray. I think that's it, so y'all have a good one.